Hey guys, welcome to a new tutorial by AM Illustrations Design and Print. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to heat press the inside part of the collar. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so for today we are going to do a size of our artboard at 1.5 by 2 inches tall. I do have a design already created, but I do want to answer a few questions before I get started. One of them was that I had somebody say that they had trouble with the square, that they had a line going through theirs. They wanted to know how they can fix that issue. So the way I see it is that you're probably just doing a regular line and creating a stroke, and you can see how that line shows up in the middle. There are two ways you can do this. You can either use your rectangle tool and create that same line and just mess around with your strokes. That way you don't have that line through it. Or you can simply, if you did use that line tool, you can go ahead and play with the stroke there and go up to Object, Path, and then outline your stroke. You'll now see that that line disappears. I did have another question on text. Somebody said that their text wasn't showing up. I do have a video on how we made that work, but just for this quick tutorial here, I'll show you just a quick example. You can see here that I just typed this regular text in skeleton mode. You can see that it's still showing up and it's not outlined like the following text up here. What you can do is you can just select it, go up to Object, Text, Create Outlines, and boom. You have your text now fully outlined, and that should solve your problem. If not, let me know and I'll make sure I can dig into that a little bit deeper for you. Another thing people like to ask me is for the shape here, how is it that I made it part of the shape last time, the letter part of the shape. So what I do is I can select it, make sure it's centered because you're going to kind of make it permanent. So it says it's centered, but in my eye it kind of doesn't look that centered. I'm just going to go with it for now, that's fine. So let's make sure that's centered somehow. In some way it's going to work. Okay. So I'm going to select both of those objects. I'm going to go up here to Align. Click that. Oh, not Align. So sorry. Pathfinder. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put Divide. And now I can go ahead and double click my L and then remove it. And then we can drag it over here just to make sure it worked. You should see that the L has been fully cut out, which it has. It's great. Now that is how we want the file to be, just looking around for any imperfections that I'm not too fond of. I do notice that everything's not the same color. It doesn't really matter because it's all being cut out in white vinyl anyways. I just like to make sure everything's the same color. I'm going to go ahead and save that and move on over to SignCut Pro. Alright, now that I am in SignCut Pro, if you have not used it before and are using it for the first time, I do have a video on how to open up a file and kind of work it around a little bit in my previous tutorials. But again, just to quickly get through this a little faster, you just go up to the Open File. Up at the top left, you're going to pick the file you want and then click Open. So now that that's all done, I can't stress this part enough. Let's make sure that we mirror our image. If not, it's not going to work the way we want it to. And in the finished product, I'll show you why we have to mirror this image. Everything looks great, so we're going to go ahead and cut it out, and then we're going to head on over to the cutter and weed it out, and then we're going to head on to the heat press. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is put our shirt on the platen, and as you can see, if I was to heat press, this collar sticks out about a half or a quarter inch, maybe even less, way less. But what I use is I get a piece of foam, or you can use mouse pads, you can use pretty much anything that you can heat up and it won't totally melt. The only reason I use this foam is because I've heated it several times and it still maintains its shape. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put that in the center of your t-shirt and platen, and then I'm going to just bring this over, kind of just mold that shape to the center. And now you can see that my little foam square is over the collar, so that won't affect getting an even press. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring my design here. Like so. Just bring it on over. Go ahead and heat press that. Alright, let's bring this on over. Alright, now you can kind of see what it looks like there on one press. It was an even, you can see the outline, kind of just showing that there was an even press here above, and the collar didn't affect that, getting that even pressure, because you can see this was the first part that got hit. I did lose a little period there, my fault, but this was mainly just to show you guys how to do it. And that's how I get it done here at AM Illustrations Design and Print. If you need any help with anything, feel free to give us a shout and let us know if you found this video helpful. We'll see you on our next video. Thanks, guys.